How much do you know about Kratos' mythological origin? So let's talk a bit about Kratos and Kratos. The man, the myth, the legend. Where they are similar, what differentiates them, the interesting bits of trivia that connect them. Okay, so to start off, like a therapist looking for clues, tell me about your childhood. How was your relationship with your father? The Kratos you're probably more familiar with, as I'm sure you know, was born in Sparta. His mother was the mortal woman Callisto, his father was Zeus, god of thunder, the sky, and breeding kinks. This is our first shift from his mythological counterpart, who is not a son of Zeus, but instead a son of Pallas, who is the son of two titans and grandson of Gaia, and his mother was Pallas' wife Styx, as in the river Styx that connects the earth to the underworld. She is the goddess of this river and where its powers come from, which means that instead of his siblings being the likes of Ares, Athena and Hercules, well, half-siblings anyway, mythological Kratos shares parentage with the likes of Baia and Zelos, personifications of force and glory, and with Nike, personification of victory, after which the sports brand is named after. And while I admit that this confirms Nike is the correct pronunciation, I'm British and will continue to say Nike, don't at me, with Kratos himself being the personification of strength. Actually, while we are talking about siblings, Deimos also has a mythological counterpart. In God of War, he is Kratos' full younger brother, also son of Zeus and Callisto. In mythology, he is the son of Ares and of Aphrodite, and brother of Phobos. This makes sense as Deimos and Phobos are both two moons of Mars, and Ares becoming Mars after it transitioned into the Roman pantheon. Though, by the way, the two moons are named after them, not the other way around. The moons were only discovered in the late 1800s. Now, mythological Deimos is the god of dread and terror, which is metal as shit. Now back to Kratos. As for their roles in most common myth, after Zeus overthrew Kronos and the Titans and established his new regime, he would state that anyone who did not hold positions in the prior regime would be allowed to hold positions in his court. Bend the knee and I'll treat you well and all that. Styx was the first to show up alongside her children. The early bird gets the worm, and they were granted privileged positions, with Kratos and his siblings tending to act as enforcers, and they were happy to do so, remaining close by Zeus' side. There is a similarity here with the roles of that of God of War's Kratos, with them both being used as pawns, but they seem to differentiate themselves with how happy they were about this arrangement. One of the places they are similar, however, is their characterization. See, like a younger Kratos you might be familiar with, his mythological namesake is described as brutal and merciless, both physically and I suppose verbally, as he is known to mock and insult others, while advocating for unnecessary violence. Sound familiar? Kratos' most famous appearance is in the Greek tragedy, Prometheus Bound, from 500 BC. The Titan Prometheus has stolen fire from Olympus to give to the mortals, and Zeus will not see this go unpunished. He recruits Baia and Kratos to enforce this order. The omission of Nike and Zelos for this job is also relevant. It is used to portray Zeus' new regime as more tyrannical, focusing on the use of strength and force as a means to justice. In the tragedy, they drag Prometheus through the forest and coerce the mild-mannered Hephaestus to chain him to the cliff. Throughout the play, Kratos advocates for increasing levels of violence and punishment for Prometheus, which Hephaestus criticizes him for. Now, Hephaestus does ultimately do what he is told, but they bicker and discuss the state of this regime and the way of the world. Kratos thinks that rule by law and rule by fear are one and the same, and condemns pity as a pointless waste of time. That also sounds familiar. They do agree that Zeus is oppressive, but Kratos just believes this is the way of the world. Justice is just a cosmic hierarchy of power. Zeus is the only one that is truly free, and he is just a company man. Anyone who steps out of their place is just a transgressor who must be punished. And just before leaving, he mocked Prometheus by saying that he will never be free, and he does not deserve his name. This is an interesting mirror to God of War's Kratos, who in God of War 2 would actually go on to free Prometheus. Before this last point, remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and let me know the videos you want to see in the comments. Okay, so here's the thing. All that comparison between both Kratoses, the God of War's mythological origin, and the similarities between them are essentially, for the most part, completely coincidental. The original God of War game was actually in the later stages of development before they even knew Kratos in Greek mythology. His design had been mostly fleshed out, and his name Kratos was chosen because it means strength, might, power in ancient Greek, without realizing there is an actual personification of these things who is a character in stories like Prometheus Bound. Kratos' design was actually fleshed out more around the likes of Theseus, Perseus, and Heracles, the Greek name for Hercules. Hercules is the Roman one, who are the other sons of Zeus. I guess if you're looking for male anti-hero archetypes who are brash, violent, and arrogant, to be honest, you're kind of spoilt for choice, especially in Greek mythology. In case you didn't know. See you next time.